Hello, everyone, and welcome to Bangers and Mosh, the podcast for heavy music. I'm Jimmy, and today I'm stoked to be joined by vocalist of one of our favourite new bands and owner of one of the finest heads of hair in heavy music. It's Mr. Jake Murphy of Final Gasp. How you doing, dude?
I'm great. How are you? Thank you for the kind words. It's very nice.
No, I did write originally unfairly handsome man in heavy music, but
Oh
I
wow,
didn't want to embarrass you, dude.
that's really funny.
Yeah, thanks for hanging with us, man. It's a pleasure to have you on. I was just saying before, um, New Day Simpsons is like honestly an album that all three of us haven't stopped playing since it came out. Like we've been raving about this record, man.
That's great. I'm really glad to hear that.
Yeah.
We,
So it's been out exactly 1 month to the day.
yeah,
But
today is the actual 1 month anniversary of it.
yeah, it's mad. How's the reception sort of been from your side? Do you pay attention to reviews and online bits and bobs when it comes to your music?
I think I used to, um, like when Morning Moon came out, our first record, and like that got pretty great reviews too. And I mean, like I don't go out looking for it. I think if I like we get tagged in something or if I see something that's like shown to me, I'll read it, but I don't go out looking for it. But I think everything I've seen has been really good. That's been shown to me,
Yeah, yeah.
and I feel like when you start digging into that too much, you kind of you create like a narrative for yourself in your head, and then you can kind of get lost in it. So I just kind of let it exist where it is, and we're happy with it, and we think it's great. We think we wrote a good record, so we're gonna just kind of keep moving forward, essentially.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So you guys, like we were just talking as well, you guys literally just came back from tour.
Yeah.
How did the new songs go down live?
Oh, they were great. We've been playing two of them live for a while before the record was even fully recorded,
Oh,
just
cool.
because we've had them written for a long time and we wanted to, just try them out live. And I think that's a thing that a lot of bands do is just see how it's going to go over in a live setting, because I mean that really matters more than anything. I think to me is
Yeah.
if the energy's going to be there when you do it live, and it was. So um, we kind of split that set half and half, more so more newer songs, but we have some older ones that we kind of don't want to retire yet. But it went over great, and when there's ones that I'm doing that I was kind of not concerned, but vocally, like, didn't want to blow my shit. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
I
yeah.
learned how to do it the right way, and it sounded great, and feel pretty good about it.
Oh, that's wicked, man. Do you as the front man, do you pay attention to like crowd reactions during um songs and stuff, and then like take that in? Do you keep that in mind when you're writing music like, oh, the crowd reacts to these sort of moments in songs, and do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think yes and no. Like, I'll remember certain things that will happen at a show, or if we're playing like a new song that no one's heard before, and we'll see that people are like excited about it or like really into it. I'm like, oh, that one's gonna go over well when we record it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But I think for the most part, we're just kind of working with each other and writing the songs that we want to hear, and writing the way that we do. Um, I mean, we're not like a moshy kind of band. I don't
no,
think,
no, no.
so it's like there's no gauge of reaction for that, except like I guess the applause at the end. People are like excited about it.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so let me take you back a little bit, Jake, if I can. A brief history of the band. So obviously the first EP, Baptism of Fire, came out 2019.
Yeah.
Were you guys all in bands sort of prior to Final Gasp?
Yeah, so that was just me and our drummer at the time, and we had just been writing everything together, and he was in this band called Video Filth, which was a really really sick punk band from here, from Boston.
Oh, cool.
And then we recorded it. Well, we recorded some demos, and then I showed my guitar player that I was playing with in bands at the time, and bass player who played drums for the same bands at the time. It was all kind of incestual, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And they just showed them and they were like, "Yo, can we like play on this with you too?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." I mean, I don't know who else I was gonna ask. I was kind of just showing you guys to be like, this is kind of what we're gonna do next, you know. So if you guys want to do it, cool. And yeah, so we all worked on that together from other bands and stuff. They were in the like bands like C4 and Burning Lord
Oh, sick.
and
Yeah.
like Vantage Point at the time. And the guitar player was in this band called Some Nerve with me, which was like this punk hardcore band that we used to do. Kind of sound like Out Cold and like Poison Idea and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
wicked.
so it was all just groups of people that have been doing this shit with each other for a very, very long time.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. I'll have to do some digging in and check some of your older bands out, man.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're a guitar player as well as singer, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, so like for Final Gasp, I don't play guitar and sing live,
Yeah, yeah.
but I write a lot of the songs and will, write them together like with me playing guitar and then I'll record guitar in the studio. Because I just have if I'm writing it, I have to hear it played a certain way, and it's basically the way that I've played it.
Yeah.
Um, but I play guitar in a bunch of other bands and bass. I used to play bass in a few other bands. But I think the main priority is this. I'm basically just doing this, but I'm playing guitar every day. I mean, I have one right here with me right now. But I'm playing guitar every day and working on new Final Gas material. And then I just
Oh,
had
sick.
practice with my other band called Chaos Cross last night, which is me playing guitar and then Burning Lord and C4 guys, and it's just kind of like death metal, hardcore kind of stuff.
Oh, wicked. Dude, you have to link us up because
Yeah.
like all three of us are massive fans of that C4 record as well last year.
Oh,
So,
it's the best, bro.
oh,
Owen's like
yeah.
one of my best friends, so it's like it's great to be able to do this shit together still, you know.
Yeah, it's so cool, man, hearing that. Um, so I first heard about Final Guts through Daniel DK had
Hmm.
um Morning Moon as his album of the year when it came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, shit, yeah, I need to check that out if he's saying it's good. And like I'm a big fan of that record, man, but
Yeah.
New Day Symptoms feels like such a step up, like
Oh,
from that. Like, did you feel more confident, like, and assured in the writing of this record?
100%. And the difference was that we all wrote on this one together as
Mm,
opposed to everything previously was basically just me and my drummer at the time. And this one we had some lineup changes and like everybody was contributing and Peter, our lead guitar player, has like been a huge, contributor to that and like showing me different ways of playing. He's more classically trained than I am, as I kind of do everything by feel and emotion and hearing things. But he's doing the same thing, but he has more of a structure on it. And
yeah.
I think us doing that together really helped a lot. And when I was living here, still we would meet up every day and just play guitar with each other and write songs and then bring it back to the band and then everybody would bring their own kind of influences into it. So I think that made a huge difference.
Yeah, it's like really noticeable. I think the first thing that sort of struck me was how like much more instant it was. Like
Mhm.
the hooks are bigger, the melodies are bigger, the songs feel like brighter in a way, if you know what I mean, like brighter and
Yeah,
more like alive. Um, and yeah, it was just such an instant like clicked with me like Morning Moon. A few listens in, it took for it to fully sort of click with me. This
yeah,
one was just like bang, just instant.
yeah. I think it really is because of just the songwriting. Like there's actual kind of structure to it this time around. I think I always kind of think of Morning Moon as more of a mixtape of, you know, uh, like emotions. Really,
Yeah.
it's there's no real structure to it. Peter kind of put it to me perfectly. He was like, you basically wrote a power violence record of like goth, death rock, and metal. Like it's just like there's no real structure to it besides a few songs. There's nothing wrong with that. You don't have to follow any rules or anything. But I
No.
think I think when you're growing and you're just experimenting with things and like going from that into this direction, I think it was a very natural thing, but it wasn't out of left field and it wasn't completely like we changed our sound and our like everything altogether, you know.
No, no, not at all. Like the DNA's still there.
Yeah.
It's just like more, it's just like fully sort of realized.
Yeah, it's definitely it's more like locked in, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, 100%, dude. So when you're, I'm always intrigued by this as for vocalists. Do you have like vocal patterns and harmonies and sort of melodies floating around in your head as you're like before you start writing music, or do you get the canvas down first and then put that over the top?
I think it used to be just having, you know, everything written beforehand, but I remember a few times on this I would just have melodies stuck in my head and I would record them on my phone so I wouldn't forget them.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I would basically like sometimes just play them on guitar and they would end up being guitar songs, you know,
Oh,
like they
cool.
would, and then I would have a different melody for something after that was written because it just kind of all pieced together and it worked out that way a lot of the time. But I think this is the first time we also really took our time with, you know, demoing stuff where we would write everything and then I would lock myself in the space for like hours at a time, just saying gibberish into the microphone to get a mic like a melody down. And I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
I think that's truly the way that it works. And trying to write like lyrics ahead of time, or like you have a song, you're trying to write lyrics to it while you're doing the melody, I think is like it's really hard. It's obviously possible, but I think just going in there blind and just kind of feeling it out and then letting it happen naturally is that's the way it's gonna work.
Yeah, definitely. And like that hard work's paid off, man, because like there's so many earworms all over this record. Like I've had the apparition just in my head all day long. I've
That's
listened to
cool.
like 7 albums that have came out today, and the
Jeez,
apparition is still the song that's in my head. So
that's
it's like,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. It's just it 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 just goes to show, man, that hard work that you guys have been putting in and that like preparation and everything that went into the writing is it's just paid off so well. Where do you draw lyrical inspiration from?
Um, I think like a lot of poetry. Um, there's this book I was reading specifically for this record called Peripheral Debris, and it's a lot of like urban poetry that has to do with like Pittsburgh and like Pennsylvania and like the steel cities and stuff like that, and it's really beautiful. And I thought a lot of that kind of resonated with how we wanted to do this because I didn't want it to be such a romanticized kind of dramatic gothic theme. You know what I mean? I wanted to.
Yeah.
We wrote these songs about real things that you know have happened in our lives and things that we've seen and I've seen growing up in my younger years. And I think that you know there's nothing wrong with you know going the complete you know goth makeup out you know thing. And like that's kind of what we did with Morning Moon, but I think that this was more just wanted to keep it realistic, and a lot of that had to do with it. And Jazz Coleman from Killing Joke, definitely a
Oh yeah.
huge influence for me.
Yeah.
Um, the that band In Solitude was a big one for me too. Uh, and like I think it's really just you know I think I'm kind of figuring it out on my own in a lot of ways too, and trying to like make my own thing happen.
Yeah, that's cool, man. And again, like you just, it sort of links into that. I think this album sounding brighter, than Morning Moon and a bit more, kind of like it's kind of like a hopeful, up, kind of upbeat in places. This record, man.
Yeah, I thought that too. And my guitar player kept saying, he's like, man, I think this sounds like darker than Morning Moon. I was like, no, it doesn't. I was like, there's no way. There's like so many brighter moments in this, and it like melodic parts that happen throughout the record that it literally sounds like a shimmer of hope or something like that.
That's the word shimmering is exactly how I would describe it. And
Yeah,
I was going to get to it a bit later, but I think it sort of ties in here. Like the artwork, like
yeah,
is so striking, and it's so like completely the opposite of Morning
yeah.
Moon. Like this was that something. It might sound like a stupid question, right? But
No.
did you have like colors in your when you're writing music? Do you see colors as you're writing?
Yeah,
This feels like the colors on the album cover is how the music sounds.
I think so too. And it's funny because originally we had the same person that did the Morning Moon cover doing the cover for this record, and they were sending us, just references of what they were doing. And then we all had a meeting, just the band, and we were like, I don't think a painting's going to be the move for this. I think we need to
Yeah,
have a real image of something. And we, we had Caleb on board who did the videos for us last time, and he's just a great like visionary for everything. And we were like, why don't we just have him do the cover because he takes great pictures. He has a great idea. He's been working with us since day one, so he knows what we're doing. And we gave him like the reference we wanted to do was we wanted to have basically a mask behind a shattered piece of glass, and we tried doing it and it didn't work right. And he was like, "Listen, we're gonna do a statue bust, and we're gonna do it in the ocean, and we're gonna do it at sunset because that's what the record sounds like to me." And
that's
I was like, I
exactly
mean,
it.
yeah, it definitely sounds brighter to me. So I think that can work. Like let's see how it comes out. And we were on tour with Tribulation and Unto Others when we got the final picture from him. We were like, I don't know if this is it. Like I still don't know. And he's like, just trust me, guys. Like just trust me. And then when we put the font on it, we were like, okay, yeah, that's it. Like it was like we had just the image, and then seeing the letters with the record title on it that really tied it all together for us for some reason. And yeah, I think I love it. I think it's beautiful, and I think it really represents the record well.
Yeah, it's such a like striking it's such a striking cover like that that evening time sunset. It's such a it feels just so right for this. Was it Kelly Harris who did the
Yeah, she
sculpture?
did the
Was it?
statue. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's really cool, man. Um, so just going back to vocally, Jake, I know you mentioned Jazz Coleman, but
Yeah.
who else when you started like singing in bands and stuff? Who were the vocalists that you sort of took inspiration from and modeled yourself on? And
Oh, like it's Glenn Danzig 100%. Like when I first started, it was him and Ozzy. Um, and then you know, as much as I want to say Chris Cornell, I wish I could, but I mean I can't hit that like he could, But I mean I
dude,
definitely take some
no one
influence
can.
from, I definitely, like some like cadences and some of the ways that he would work around songs. I think lyrically, I took a lot of influence from, but like Ian Astbury from The Cult is a huge one,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah,
massive.
yeah,
Uh, but for this record, I think it like that was a big one was The Cult for sure. Um, and then obviously Jazz Coleman, like I think Burials of Birth, like I was trying to really do some of like how he does some of his harsher vocals on some of those parts where it's not screaming, but it's kind of like belting almost, but with some distortion behind it. Um, but those are like the big three for me, like Danzig and Jazz Coleman and Ian Astbury. Like those three are like huge for me.
yeah. Yeah, you can hear like as soon as you said Danzig, I was like, that was one of the vocalists that when I was
Yeah,
because I'd heard you guys before the other two guys do the podcast with me, and I was trying to explain to them how you sound, and I was like, imagine Danzig, right? And it
yeah.
was like the first thing I mentioned vocally. Um, so you guys signed to Relapse prior to Morning Moon coming out. How did that come about?
Well, we were like saving all the money that we had made from all the little tours that we had done at the time and just shows, and I was like, I really want to record this somewhere good. I want this to be like done at a proper studio with someone that's gonna really get the sound, and we wanted to do it with Arthur. And we had demoed it out, like the whole thing, like had it mastered, mixed, and like everything, just so we could hear it. And we were like, it's still not it. Like we did it with someone here in Boston, and we were like, it's got to be done. We have to do it with Arthur. So
Mm.
we saved all our money and went to Arthur, and we hit it off like immediately. Just became like pretty tight, and he was like, I like this a lot. This is interesting. And I was like, you think like Relapse like would be into this? And he's like, I'm already texting them. He was like, I'm already like talking to them about this. And then we were on our way home from doing just the instrumentals. I still had to go back to do vocals. And then they called me and asked if we wanted to do it. And I was like, yeah, it's like that's this like our dream label that we've always wanted to be on. I think it's like started off as such a legacy metal band label, and it still is, but there's so many different things that I think tie it all together that make it what it is today.
Yeah.
Like True Widow is one of my favorite bands of all time, and just to be able to be on the same stratosphere as them is like a big thing for me. And Poison Ruin is like our homies that we toured with a while ago. Obviously, Obituary is like crazy. Um, there's some other things that I know are coming down the pipeline that I'm excited about because there's some of my friends that are going to be on there too. But yeah, like that's how that happened, and it was just kind of organic. We were just gonna just send it, and just maybe like send it to him when it was done. But considering he was already talking to him, it just kind of helped, bridge the gap.
It's so cool the way they've like developed, expanded their sort of like roster over the years. Because like I remember when I
Yeah.
was like 14, I think I bought like a Relapse sampler, and
Hmm.
like I was not ready for some of the music on that sampler. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was so much crazy shit on there, and like I think a lot of people still like tie Relapse into grindcore and like all
Like
early Dillinger and stuff, but there's so
yeah.
much more to them now, and like the way they've developed and sort of branched out over the years is so sick.
Yeah, it's awesome. And I'm like, I think that's where like we want to be too, because we're not necessarily a metal band. We're not a hardcore band, but we have all that because it's in our blood. Like that's where we come from. I
Yeah.
mean, I think we're writing what we want to write, and like what comes out is where everyone else can kind of make their own decision on what it is.
Yeah, and I'd imagine they're a label that just gives you complete like creative freedom
Yeah.
just to do what you want. There's no like big wig poking his nose in and going,
No, like I met up with a few of them when I was here in Boston, and when my guitar player had to have like emergency brain surgery.
"Oh shit."
They one of them was here to like go see a show in Boston, and we just caught up and got lunch, and I was just like, man, it's like so cool being able to just meet up with you guys and like just hang out, and like we're not even talking about anything, we're just hanging out. And he was like,
Yeah.
yeah, because we're real people. Like, it's like you don't have to go through five different things to get to one person, and then to get some like kind of cold email or something like that. It's like we all talk all the time, and it's like so easy.
Yeah, they're proper music people, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're not business people like in it for money. They're actually
No, man. They
music.
they
Yeah.
they care about the music that's coming out, and they'll help you if you have questions. It's like
Yeah.
that's what it should be, and that's what it's there for.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. So I know you've mentioned him. I just wanted like got to touch on like the production and stuff with Arthur. We've affectionately nicknamed him the Knob Master on here because like I think he's the best producer in heavy music at the moment.
Yeah.
Like I don't think there's any question. Like the two that come up a lot are Arthur and Taylor Young as well. Those
Yeah.
two I think are in a league of their own when it comes to like the more undergroundy sort of metal. And this album sounds fucking brilliant, man. Like,
Yeah.
um, was before Morning Moon, was you just a fan of his work and that's why
Yeah.
you wanted to, yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he actually hit me up a while ago, when this was like right as COVID started. I play well, me and this DFJ used to play in a band together called Wound Man, which was like this power violence band from New Bedford, and we became homies. And DFJ plays in Innumerable Forms and Summerlands and Eternal. Like he does like all that stuff with Arthur.
Oh, dude,
So
we chat to him a little bit off like through email and stuff, and he's the best man.
yeah, he's awesome. I'm about to
Yeah.
go meet up with him after this and
Oh, sick. Oh,
just hang out with him.
say hello from us, man.
Yeah. But yeah, he's the best. And Well, I'm just getting out of this room real quick. I'll be back. Uh, but yeah, no. So he hit me up because my other band, Immortal War, which was like this thrash metal band, was supposed to play with Eternal Champion in Worcester, and Arthur hit me up to do that, and he did it through Justin because Justin like he knew how to connect the dots, or whatever. So we
Yeah.
had talked a little bit before then, but then like we didn't talk after that until it was time to go record this record. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Does he pitch in with like arrangement ideas and vocal ideas or anything like that? Or are the songs like ready when you get in the studio?
They're ready for the most part, but this time I really wanted him to like uh you know tell me if something sucks, tell me if like
Yeah.
we could do something different, and like he did. He's like, there's not really much you need to change. Like there's just a few choruses we just need to like work on, and then that was it.
Do you have any like frames of reference when you go into a studio as far as like tones and stuff like that go? Or like snare tones or anything like that? Have you got like albums where you like, I really like the guitar tone on there. That would be cool to.
Yeah. Like I mean for me this one was like I really wanted the kind of the vibe of the whole thing to sound like the Brighter Than a Thousand Suns by Killing Joke, because I love that record. I think
Yeah.
it's just so beautiful sounding the whole time. Like even like there's like the darker parts on it that still have that like I don't know, the reverb behind it is just so nice, and it just sounds so clear. And I think that that was a big one for me, and like just vocally as well too. I wanted that kind of like reverb behind there. As far as like guitar tones and stuff, like that was all Peter. Like I was like, I'm gonna let him take the reins on this one,
Yeah.
and kind of give his references. And then same with Kevin, our drummer. Like he had ideas that he wanted it to sound like, and I think we all kind of just worked together on it. And Arthur knew what we were talking about, and he also had his own ideas where he was kind of stacking amps up with against each other just to see what was going to work.
Oh man, it must be like watching like a wizard at work or something, watching
Yeah,
watching him in the studio.
because he'll come in and he won't say anything. He'll just be doing it and like just won't be talking. He's like, "All right, play. All right, play real quick. No, we got to do it again." It's really funny.
I don't know how he does, man. He's producing about 300 albums at the same time. It's crazy.
Yeah, he doesn't stop.
Yeah. Um, so you guys have got some big shows coming up. Like supporting Acid Bath is
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. We're really excited about that. That's going to be like probably the biggest show we've ever played. We did like the Roburn pre-show like 2 years ago, and that was a blast. That was like the biggest show we've played so far, and this is going to be like way bigger than that, and we're really excited. And like Roadrunner in Boston is like a really huge, like thing for us, where it's
Yeah.
like that's like a venue I didn't even know we'd be able to play, and then now we're playing there with like a banging ass show. And we got the Prepare the Ground in Toronto. That's going to be really cool. We have a record release coming up on May 1st because like we've just been on the road basically since it's been out, and now we're home and like planning it all out. And then we have more tour dates coming like around all of that. That's happening in May.
Guys, dude, it's so cool to see you guys. Hopefully on the up and up and having all these sick shows and stuff coming. Like, obviously with you guys, hopefully climbing the ladder a bit and getting busier and doing shows now. How do you balance like families and jobs and things like that with shows and touring?
It's I mean it's hard, man. Like it used to be way easier for me when I was still living here because we would just come home and we would work at this moving company that is like run by our homie.
Oh,
It's
cool.
all like touring musicians, so like, it's just like you leave, you come back, you have a job. You suffer for like an unbelievably brutal amount of time, but like you make a shit ton of money,
Yeah.
and then you go back out on the road, and then you do it all over again. But this time around it's a bit different for me. I'm engaged, and like
Congrats,
I
man.
live in Chicago. Thank you. And I like don't know anyone there at all. so I don't have that kind of like connection of just being like, hey, like, yo, I'm back. Like, what do you need? Like, you need me to do anything for a little bit? So I've been doing the hustle like this for like 15 years. I'm very used to it. So I just kind of, whatever job I'm working, I'm like, hey, I'm leaving. If you want me to come back, I'll come back after a while. But like, no sweat if not. And then I just figure it out. I have like an interview for when I come home on Monday. So I'm good. But then we're leaving again in May, so I'll probably have to quit that one too. But it's for the love of the game, man. Like I don't know, you just got to do it if you want to do it, and shit's gonna suck sometimes. But like, it could be way worse. You could just be sitting in a warehouse smoking cigarettes, doing nothing all day.
Dude, that's it. You could be like 45, miserable as fuck in some like boring dead end job. Like
Yeah,
you guys are out there living the dream, man. Like that's all you can ask for, isn't it?
yeah. So it's like we we all had that moment on this tour for sure where we were like, dude, I don't know, and like, and now we're home and we're like, okay, like how are we gonna plan for this one? Like, what are we doing? When are we going? And it's just a part of the vicious cycle of doing this.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you guys will be able to make it over to the UK at some point, or
Yeah.
would dying to see these songs live, man. So, um, dude, how we finish this off? Just a quick fun one. I know you've mentioned a couple already, but
Hmm.
if you had to make a Mount Jake Moore vocalists,
Okay.
who are you having on there?
All right. I'm definitely gonna have Jazz Coleman on there. Jeff Buckley,
Oh,
um,
sick.
Chris Cornell, Glenn Danzig, and then Ian Astbury.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, all five combined make.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I would
it.
say Chris Isaac too. Chris Isaac's a huge one as well.
Oh yeah, you can hear that, man.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
that one.
yeah, you can hear that. Dude, thanks very much for hanging with me for half an hour or so this evening, dude. It's been a pleasure talking to you, man.
Thank you for having me, man. This was great.
Yeah, it's been wicked. We'll definitely we've got some ideas for other things that we'd love to have you guys on for. So we'll
Yeah,
hit you up in
please.
the DMs, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, New Day Symptoms is out now. If you haven't got it already, get on it. There's a link to your Bandcamp and everything in that
Yeah.
episode description for anyone. Make sure you pick the album up, support these guys. We'll be back very soon. Until then, party on, dudes.
Later, man.